Hi, Maddie Corcoran coming to you virtually from the Homeownership Center at Avesta Housing. I want to talk a little bit about scams. We are keeping an eye on information coming out about scams that are happening in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. And my message today is really just to be mindful that is happening, that scammers are taking advantage of this crisis and preying upon everybody's uncertainty and fears about this. So to be aware that these scams are out there. I'll talk about some of the ones that we've heard about, but these have been reported across the country. I was just on a call with a representative from the Bureau of Consumer Credit Protection in Maine, and we would really like to hear if there are firsthand accounts from community members about specific scams that they have seen. And that way we can kind of spread the word more about those specific scams. Scammers are very creative and unfortunately use times like this to prey upon the vulnerable. So some of the things that we have heard about across the country are around things like vaccinations, test kits, and supplies, and they are fraudulent. Test kits in particular is a big one we've heard about, where some scammers are actually going door to door trying to sell test kits because there is a lot of news coverage about the shortage and people wanting to get tested so that they know whether or not they have COVID-19. So just, again, be aware of that. If you or somebody you know is fearful that they might have COVID-19, the thing that has to happen is a call to the healthcare provider, and there is no other way to go about that. Vaccination is also something that there has been some coverage on. There is no vaccination. So some of the scams we've heard about are scammers collecting credit card information to reserve somebody a vaccination. So again, not a legitimate offering. And then just there has been some panic buying and whatnot going on. So there has been an uptick in scammers selling, cleaning supplies, household supplies, HVAC filters that kill COVID-19, and people are paying for them and then not receiving those goods. And then also another one that we've heard about, and also I would anticipate an uptick to happen around the economic relief package that the federal government is putting into place that is actually going to issue checks to individuals. So that is an area where scammers are going to take advantage. And we have heard reports that some have already put out robocalls and emails trying to gather personal information, banking information, social security information from individuals to expedite this payment. And that is not something the federal government would do. Giving out personal information from an unsolicited call is never a good idea. So some of this stuff that I'm going to recommend that people do is true across the board for any kind of fraud avoidance. Really to do your research and due diligence when contacted by an outside entity that was just an unsolicited call. To gather that information about the company they're calling from and then research it. And again, just due diligence around that. There's also been some scams reported about charitable contributions, that there are fraudulent charities collecting donations to support people facing just a variety of issues because of COVID-19. So again, that would be a situation where you'd want to research whatever organization is collecting donations or whatever the donations are going towards. So just I want to remind everybody too that this is something that we want to hear about and also something that we want to support if you have been contacted, if you have gotten caught up in any kind of scam, if you have received information and that you just want to hear what we, be a sounding board to that. Like, do you think this is legitimate? Please do reach out. We do want to hear about this so that we can also warn others. So again, I'm here to help. The Augusta Homeownership Center is here to help. So please do contact us for any kind of support. Be well, take care of yourselves, stay healthy.